Alright, so let's begin the interview. Can you tell me a bit about yourself? Okay, thank you very much for this question, madam. So my name is Mercy and I am a teacher at Good Grace Academy. I have been a teacher for the last 5 years. I completed university, which is the University for Development Studies, in the year 2017, where I gained my Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics. Currently, I teach year 1 of the Good Grace Senior High School, and I have been teaching for the last 4 years. Now, tell me about a time you made a split-second decision. Okay, a time where I made a split-second decision was, I can't think of a story at the moment. The trick I'm going to be telling you in today's video here, I personally did not even know about this trick, and when I found out, I was like, I could have answered good questions at my interviews. I know that there are lots of things that come into play, but let me tell you, if you're able to answer this particular question, you would impress them. You would impress them, because if you don't know this trick and they ask you these questions, they are called behavioral questions. When they ask you these questions, you'll be mixing facts. You'll be telling your story anyhow. You may not even tell them what lesson you learned. But if you use this trick, your answer will be organized. You mention everything they want to hear from you. And if you do all other things right, you pass the interview. You saw the scenario, right? Let's get into the video.
I don't wanna see the way you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah.
So welcome back to the video. My name is Mercy and I'm a nurse in the UK. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, especially if you're a nurse, doctor, teacher, midwife, and your plan is to come to the UK. Please subscribe to the channel. My channel has good information and it will help you make your journey to the UK smoother. Okay, now let's get into the video. In the scenario, the interviewer was asking her some of the questions that we call behavioral questions. These are questions that require you to talk about a situation and what you learned from the situation, and they are looking to get specific things from you. So in today's video, I'll be giving you tricks on what to say to answer these questions that interviewers are looking to hear from you, so that you just don't go about beating the bush and talking about anything at all. Okay, you are going to say exactly what they are looking for, and if you do all other things correctly, you are likely to pass the interview. In recent times, getting interviews is difficult. So when you get an interview, please don't joke with it. This video is important so that you know exactly what to say, so that if you get just one interview like this, just one interview, you will nail it. You will nail it. Okay, let's get into it. So the trick is a model called STAR. STAR. S stands for situation, T stands for task, A stands for action, and R stands for results. So when they ask you these questions, structure your answers according to STAR. And now let me go into details. S stands for situation. This is where you are going to describe the incident or the problem or the hurdle. Okay, what was the problem? What happened? Did you have a hand in it? Who else had a hand in it? Describe the whole scenario. Okay, that's where you describe the incident. For example, if you are a nurse, maybe you were on a shift and you came into a patient's room and the patient was having a heart attack. The heart attack is the problem. Okay, or if you're a teacher, you have the student who is always sleeping in class and does not understand what you say and is always failing their exams. That is the problem. Okay, so you describe this incident. Okay, and you can easily think about it based on the question that they'll ask you. Okay, now T stands for task. Task is the goal that you want to reach. So for the example of a nurse coming into a patient's room who is having a heart attack, the goal is to get in the patients to seek medical attention on time so that they don't die. You understand? The goal will be getting medical intervention for the patient as soon as possible so that they don't die. And if you are a teacher who had a student who sleeps in the class, your goal will be getting the student to stay awake during your class so that they can pass the examination. Okay, so that is the task. So during the task, you talk about that goal. Okay, now let's go to action. Action is the things that you do to achieve that goal. You understand? So in the situation where you're a teacher, your students sleep in class, what action do you take? I investigated. I went home with my students and I spoke with their mother, and I found out that early in the morning their mother wakes them up early to go and fetch water from the stream. Therefore they don't get the amount of sleep that they need to get, and because of that, when she comes to class, she sleeps in class. Okay, so that is the action that you took. Okay, for nurses, maybe you called ambulance as quickly as possible. Maybe you called for help. Maybe you administered I don't know, CPR. Maybe you did something. Whatever intervention you did, that is your action. Okay, now R stands for your results. Because of the actions that you took, what results did you get? Were you able to achieve that goal? Okay, so this is where you talk about the results. So example, because I went to my student house and spoke to their mother, I educated the mother on the importance of sleep for her daughter. My student now does not sleep in class because her mother does not allow her go to the stream anymore. She gets the full hours of sleep that she deserves. Okay, or if you are a nurse, you were able to call an ambulance on time and they were able to rush the patient to A&E, and the patient was able to be resuscitated. Okay, and the patient did not die. Do you understand? So this is how you must structure all of your answers, and that is what they'll be marking. They may not tell you that this is what they are looking for, but that is what they are looking for, and their marking scheme, that is what they are looking for. So if you don't know this trick and they ask you a question, you might just talk about the incident without talking about what action you took, what goal you wanted to achieve. Did you achieve that goal? What lesson did you learn? Okay, always add what lesson you learned. Okay, after you've achieved that goal, always add it. So if you don't know this STAR model and they ask you this question, you're just going to be beating about the bush, repeating the same thing all over, or I don't know, like repeating unnecessary facts that do not even matter or that are not important, and you end up missing the main goal. Okay, so please use this STAR model in your next interview. Use the STAR model when they ask you any of the behavioral questions. Make sure you remember the STAR model and make sure that you structure your answers according to the STAR model. If every other part plays well, you are going to get or pass that interview. You are going to get that job. Okay, so now that you know this STAR model, use it in your next interview. So when you get an opportunity to have an interview and they ask you a behavioral question, make sure that you use this STAR model. Okay, use it. Use the STAR model. Don't be beating about the bush. Don't be describing things that are not even necessary. They may not tell you. They may just be there nodding their head like this, but they will not tell you that you are deviating. Okay, so use the STAR model. Thank you very much for watching this video, and please kindly subscribe to my channel. Join my Telegram group. I've got one for nurses and midwives, and I've got one for teachers. Join whichever one will benefit you, and let's talk, let's discuss. Whenever I get resources that help with interviews for teachers or for nurses, I post it on there. Okay, so join it to benefit fully from me. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now. A time where I set a goal and I was able to achieve it was when I started working at my current school. At the time when I took over, the pass rate was 50%. About 50% of students failed mathematics. So I set a goal to get at least 80 to 100% pass rate for my students. So an action plan I took was arranging for extra classes. I realized that my 2 hours with them, which started at 8 a.m. and finished at 10 a.m. was not enough to cover everything into details to their understanding. So I arranged for extra classes hours for those who did not understand what was taught in class, to get an opportunity for me to explain again into details. And I realized that after I did that and they went ahead to write their examinations, I was able to achieve my goal in that about 90% of my students were able to pass, unlike previously. I was very happy with my results.